Hello everyone, and welcome again. The dust has settled, and there's not really much of an allergy problem this time, so we're not going to have a lot of sniffling. I am very, very sorry for all that. Okay, so let us continue on to PS3. So anyway, starting off, Ninja Gaiden, the Sigma, which was re-release of Ninja Gaiden, which is confusing since it isn't the original Ninja Gaiden. Oh, more confusing title names. Let's see, there was 3 Ninja Gaiden games on the NES, so this would be technically 4, you could say. Little Big Planet. Didn't really get into Little Big Planet, and that's because I'm not very creative with a lot of tools usually when it comes to like paint programs, and but it doesn't mean it's bad. Certainly the download content is actually really like the Silent Hill stage and shit that people have made. Those are fun, but I'm not really good at creating levels myself in it, and the single player was kinda not my thing, really. But I mean, it's not bad. It's a simple and platformer, and you can play with friends, so there's nothing technically really bad about it, but it didn't really, like, color my fancy, since the unique aspect was the building, really. But anyway, Leo. Oh dear. I was actually excited for this game, because usually I do like interesting controls that complement the game. I'm usually with the people like who don't really like the motion sensing with the Wii, but I don't really bitch about it. I mean, it doesn't usually like drive me insane to the point that it seems to do to like Spoonie and that, but there is a case here and there where it feels kinda tacked on, or kind of messes with shit, and Leo is probably one of the worst games to use any form of motion. I'm sure there's probably worse on the Wii, but you'd probably have to be actually purposely getting a really stupid, unintentionally fun game to do that. But and they did release a patch so you could play with the controller, but still, you can't do that, really. It was always designed around a control setting. I mean, it's nice that you tried, but still in the end, if I remember quickly, it caused an issue still with dodging and turning and stuff, so it still had a lot of issues, even though they gave you the opportunity to control with the controller. With the Redemption and the new version that has the zombie and all the download content, which I might be curious to get that one. I had not played a lot with Redemption. It's not because I didn't like it, it's just I was really tired of sandboxing. But online, fun. I got to play a lot online with friends. That's pretty fun, but the offline didn't really draw my fancy, because it just, I just was kind of tired out in real-time strategy. That's why I always like fresh games, like Valkyrie Chronicles. Now, this is a very interesting game. It's always something to look up if you want something new and refreshing. And this series needs more fans, because we were lucky to get 2, but then Sega basically said no 3. And that's probably because they felt they weren't making enough money, which is really sad, so I have to import 3. But at least they're staying on Sony platforms, which is good, because Sony keeps being region-free now, which is good. Nintendo? No. Stay away from Nintendo, please, with the series. I'd like to continue playing it. But anyway, we did get 1 and 2, and they're both, I haven't played 2 yet. My friend said they did make some changes in 2, but I do need to finish 1. I can't remember exactly where I was. I was in like some mining town or something with a lot of tanks in it, and I got really far into that stage, and I lost my sniper, and I was like, oh, because I'm one of those people that don't want my unique killers to die permanently. So it's like, gotta start it a little bit. I don't feel like doing it right now. And I haven't went back to it for a while, so. Delightful game, though. It's very refreshing. Dead Space 2, the limited edition that comes with, Dead Space Extraction, which was a Wii game, a 2-for-1 deal, and Dead Space went down to $19.99, I believe, or $29.99, one of those two. And you can still get the limited edition, so you're still getting 2 games for the price of 1. And this is only on the PS3. The 360 version does not get Extraction, so. 3D Dot Heroes. Very, very interesting game. It's basically Zelda in a 3D bitted game. Very bizarre in that. Definitely worth a look, especially since it's been like 1990 for like a long time. It's a very enjoyable game if you like a lot of the old Zelda games. It's really Zelda with a strange autistic chase. Not that I don't like it. I actually do like the autistic change, but then just saying it's not Zelda, but it plays pretty much exactly like Zelda. So, pardon me. Ghostbusters the game. I have a few mixed feelings about this, mainly because the Wii version had co-op. Which, I mean, this is like the full Ghostbusters. It's like taking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and making a single-player game. It's that argument like, why don't you make it co-op? And the 360 and PS3 versions were co-op. Only the Wii version. It was kinda blah. There was like weird ways to get the most ghosts and stuff you can play online. But there's no split screen or co-op for the campaign, so that was a bit of a disappointment. Ghostbusters video game, pretty good though. I haven't been in it yet, though. It's something I need to get back to. Dragon Age Origins, the Ultimate Edition, which it has the Origins Awakening. Oh, dear. Pardon me. Ooh. Now I'm being congested. Oh, voice change. Pardon me a second. Oh, pardon me. Ooh. Man, moving sucks. Has the Origins Awakening and the original Dragon Age game. And it also includes, let's see, Origins Awakening, The Stone Prisoner, Warden's Keep, Return of Ostagar, The Darkspawn Chronicles, Lena Songs, The Golems of Ogden, Witch Hunt, and more. Well, thanks for listing everything on the back, you damn kibble. But anyway, I got this used. As people should know, is I don't. If you basically say all games gonna have download content, I don't usually get it right off the bat, because I wait for stuff like these, because I don't like digital download content, because most of the console people, like, if it's not Steam, I don't really trust you, because at least Steam has actually a good record of actually caring about the games, so Stone Age that most people might not even touch, but still work and downloadable and stuff. Why, you know, we have the original Xboxes stuff that's gone forever and claiming of ownership and shit. Like, I was so mad after I basically lost the right to my 360 arcade games. I can't play them offline. I have to be online. So what's going to happen when the 360 is a piece of shit and whatever the next system's out? I mean, you can't even go online on the original Xbox, to my understanding now. So, if you were in that similar situation with that, I mean, what the hell would you be doing then? So, that's why I don't like digital download content, because I just basically don't trust that you're gonna keep me as somebody who can keep getting the product I pay for. Soul Calibur 4, haven't even touched it yet. so I can't really comment much. Army of Two, the 40th Day. The sequel to Army of Two, I played probably about 25% of it with a friend and then just haven't got around finishing it. It didn't really click as much as the first one did. I mean, I actually thought the first one was somewhat decent, but for some reason the sequel just didn't really click with me much. White Knight Chronicles. White Knight Chronicles, it's really sad that, level 5 games keep not getting the, they keep not getting a lot of the attention, they deserve. White Knight Chronicles was really good and everything, and, we got lucky to not, like, be charged and stuff to, like, you had to pay money to play this online. We get lucky when we get stuff like that, and I'm not sure how that is in Chronicles 2. I'm not sure how they did that exactly, but we did get Chronicles 2 a few months ago from 3D, I believe, published it for us, and I haven't gotten that yet, but it is something I need to get before it starts becoming real. Brutal Legends, Tim Schafer game from the fine studio Double Fine. I love how they just goofed around with a logo there. Probably can't see it very well. They're tripped out like rock and roll stars. A very interesting game, if anything. It's a bit bizarre and shit. They certainly tried to do something unique here, but it's a bit, basically you this guy who basically like ends up in an old world that's all rock and roll themed and it's being enslaved and shit. You just basically come to the rescue and beat the living shit. Damnation. You can actually tell this game, well, maybe hard to tell, but you can actually tell this game is actually not open. It's sealed still, and I never even got around to playing it. I bought it because, basically I'm just like, might be fun. I did pay full brand new price. It was relatively new when I got, and then all the reviews hit. It's garbage. I haven't played it, so I can't really say what I think about it, but review, I have not heard one good thing about it, so, Cross X Edge. Whoop. Sorry about that. Didn't want to stand up very well. This is a very bizarre game. It's, let's see, what were the different worlds that were in here? Did it list them? Crap. Doesn't look like it lists them. I know it's Capcom, NIC, the people who made Gust, the Alchemy game. Dang, I'm trying to remember them all, but, it's a very bizarre crossover game. It's a tactics style game. It's supposed to use the engine that the Generation War games use, I believe. I have not played it yet, so I heard it actually didn't receive as well as the Generation games did. Genji Days of the Blade, sequel to the PS2 Genji game. I have played a good bit of it, but never really finished it. I was getting kind of bored of this Samurai Resident Evil thing. Never really tickled my fancy, to be honest. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. It was cheap, and I was like, it's been a while since I played a sandbox-like game, and sadly, didn't tickle my fancy either. Here we go. Overlord's Raising Hell. Raising Hell was the additional add-on to Overlord, and I have not played it yet. I do want to get to it because it looked quite fun. I just didn't really like the idea of getting download content, and I'm pretty stubborn on that. It's pretty hard, and it always seems like when I do, I get screwed in some way. Yakuza 4 includes bonus content, unlockable costumes, battle modes, previously only available in Japan. This is probably one of the better attempts of bringing Yakuza to America, to my understanding. I have not personally played it. I got it to support the game. Because I do want to see more Yakuza. I need to... As you probably already noticed, I don't have Yakuza 1 or 2, and I really am ashamed of never getting those when I really did want to get them. It's just one of those unfortunate... Never got around to it. I mean, you can't get everything. You might like a lot of stuff, but you can't buy everything. Not on the spot, and sometimes... It's sad sometimes when it happens, to be honest. Oh, I hate this game. I don't even know how to... Oh dear. Trinity Universe. I don't like the combat. Like, the story and everything else seems alright, but the combat, oh! Now, I do know the combat uses the same engine as, but this was the original game, to my understanding, that made the engine, but it uses the same engine that the Neptune, it was the Hyperdimension Neptune game uses, but this was more worked on, but this had its issues too. You start with 2 characters in the Demon Dog King's storyline, and it just seems so boring, even if it picks up well. It's something... It just didn't hook. It didn't click. That's a very important thing at a beginning game. If you don't get that click, then you're going to lose interest. And if they lose interest, they're going to be wanting to go to something else, especially if they have other games to choose as opposed to, well, I don't have any money for a half year. Guess I just have to keep playing. If you got access to do more games, it's like, don't click, you're gone, you know something. Hyperdimension Neptune, very perverty game, but basically it's a weird, what if all the consoles were like nations, had leaders representing them and shit. It's really weird. The only thing I don't really like about this game is how items work healing in that. It's very percentage random, really. It's dice rolling, really, because you put a certain percentage of this energy shit into different special healing moves, and it basically, you're actually literally making it like, it will between like a 1% chance to 100% chance of working, and you get more of it as you level up, but you have a limited supply to shift between your different healing skills. And to my understanding, this problem was addressed in the sequel to where you could use items properly like a normal RPG. So, number 2, which I believe in NIS, for a second, it's morning right now, so, brain's kind of bleh. But I believe they announced that they were going to bring the sequel to America, so there's a good thing. Improving the system. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I just keep calling it the Alchemist series because I can't pronounce it properly. They have such weird titles. This is my first and only in the series of this series. It was on sale, the weird big box version of it for like $10 new, sealed. And I was like, ooh, sure. I've had experience with games kind of similar to this, where it's like a lot of crafting and that, and it never tickled my fancy. So I have played this, and I can't really fairly say if it's going to do the same kind of thing as the particular game I'm referring to, but Batman Arkham Asylum. Pretty good game. Combat's pretty simple, really, though. Pretty fun, and it's of course awesome to hear the 1990s Batman animation, Batman and Joker. I mean, everyone loves Luke Skywalker as the Joker, and it was awesome going to New York Comic Con to see him and him talk about his experience with this and the sequel. Actually, he was deathly afraid of the sequel because he was like, guys, do you know how well a good superhero movie-ish like games come along? You know, let's just count our blessings and not like curse this. But he's happy to hear the sequel was successful in that, but he was bored as hell. He said like about like them, causing the apocalypse and shit. Resonance of Fate, which has a different title in Japan, to find them quickly. This is a very bizarre battle system. I can't even really describe it. It's very strange, and something hopefully we'll play more of. I'll probably start over because the battle system is really complicated, and I don't think it was a good idea to start and then stop and then haven't played it for a long time and then try and start again, but have to relearn all this shit again. And probably give me a better start in the beginning anyway to kind of relearn it by our commando. Again, subtitle, number, something you should not have confusion association with your older titles. Stupid. Anyway, I bought this used at GameStop. Of course, who would buy this new? Okay, it's not truly horrible. How to say this? It's an interesting game, I guess, but I wouldn't say it's a really good game in my opinion, but I would say it's completely broken to the horrible state of, like, say, Aragon or something. Actually, the Happy Video Game Village should maybe do like a, is it really that bad on this? That would actually be interesting. Because I don't really think it would be really that bad as people made it out to be, but I can understand how it's also disappointing. The Fallen Angel Sacred 2. Oh, crap. Accidentally hit my keyboard. The Fallen Angel Sacred 2. It's basically a Diablo clone. Sacred 1 was on the PC, and you can play online, split screen. Split screen seems kind of annoying, to be honest, though, on it, so I don't know if people still play online. It took a large chunk of the hard drive. Infamous, a friend just gave me Infamous as a random gift. It came with it came with his PS3. You can always know, if you ever notice, bundle games always have like not for resale somewhere on them. But he gave it to me because he didn't really like, it's not his type of game. He's not into like open world GTA style games. When Infamous and Prototype came out, I thought Prototype looked more interesting because it was more crazy. In control-wise, I actually like Prototype more because it's more fluid going up walls and stuff. While in Infamous, it's a lot slower, more like Assassin's Creed, but in Assassin's Creed, you're in a Crusade's time. You don't have superhero powers and shit, this is definitely a more polished game, but I like the premise of Prototype more, but that also didn't meet my expectations properly, as we should get to eventually here. Actually, did I go over Prototype? Yeah, I had on the PS3 here. Okay, Folklore, my first PS3 title. My rule of thumb with a system is, I buy the system when there's a game I really want. And now, Folklore wasn't this game, sadly. It wasn't. Metal Gear Solid 4 was. And it was going to be coming out soon. And the PS3 just had the price drop thing, where they had the, what was it, 20 or 40 gigabytes? I can't even remember what mine was. Crap. I don't remember, but it was one of the first like major price drops before like Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. So I got that, got Folklore, and I'm trying to remember who made Folklore. Let's see. Oh, Game Republic, yeah. This is from the people who made, Margin the Forsaken Kingdom. So if you like Margin, this doesn't play like Margin Forsaken Kingdom, but if you want to check out more of their games, check out Folklore. It's a very interesting game where you get powers in like a Pokemon sense, but you're not like collecting monsters, you're just collecting the powers of monsters for your characters to use, and it's very strange, bizarre, and everything. It's very weird. I would check it out. It's very nice. So anyway, moving on, we have, now I have not put my game in here. This was an example of what I was saying in my last video. Well, sometimes I'm lazy and I haven't got around to putting my Bean game in its special box, but I did grab the box while I was collecting everything. Catherine. If you want to see the opening of this fine product, you can see the video that's completely devoted to it in my updates playlist, or just look through it for it in the uploads, but you'd probably be better off looking in the playlist, obviously. But, Catherine. I made the bold statement that Catherine would be my game of the year, probably. Truthfully, that's being harder and harder to keep that idea, but, whatever. It's definitely going to be up there, but, it's becoming more of a close race now to keep that, and that's the truth. Dark Souls Collector's Edition. I also opened this one, though I don't remember the particular video. I really hated how GameStop put stickers. I know they did. It's their shitty stickers, and put sticky shit on the top and bottom of that. Now, Warhawk. One of the first used games I got for the PS3. I got it because I wanted to try out the trophy thing, because the trophies came out and it had trophy support added to it, so I was like, let's give it a try. And that the game was kind of okay, but there wasn't a lot more people. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I have not shown off yet. So, I have the alternate flip cover, which was Capcom's cover art right inside. Basically what the book has is what Marvel drew, and I really disappointed with that. I'm not 100% happy with Capcom's either. Chris Redfield looks a bit bizarre. Nemesis looks a little weird, in my opinion. But aside from that, Phoenix looks a little odd too, but not as odd as Chris Redfield looks in it. But aside from that, I think all the characters look generally okay. But the reason I don't like the Marvel one, Marvel's artistic style is basically trying to keep with what the game has, my opinion now. But what I don't like is they did not include all the new characters. They only included a few of them, and that's really stupid in my opinion. You should put all the new characters in it, and it's really disappointing to see that. Because if they did that, I might have actually liked the Marvel one better than Capcom's, possibly. But, fun game, enjoying it, still getting my ass handed to me online. Fighting is not my cup of tea, but if it's fun, I'm willing to get my ass beat. Lord of the Rings Conquest. Has co-op. It's hack and slash. It has online modes, but when I got, a lot of people weren't really playing online anymore. You were lucky to find a few people. It was kind of what was this game basically emulating? I'm trying to think. It's kind of controls like a third-person game, but with medieval shit, with only being like a shooter with wizard-like powers of that. But you have a good and evil campaign and stuff, and then it's a time killer, really. It's not a horrible game, but it's not like the greatest use of your time either. Okay, here's something I got cheap. This, when it came out, was expensive. The Gun Con gun for Time Crisis 4, and that this thing is really weird because it comes up with some weird. If you ever seen like the Power Glove, where it has those sensors that go around your TV, this thing has a similar thing. I don't want to like pull it out because it was really hard getting this back in its proper. You can see in the instructions where it shows the diagram of that, where you put two squares in the corners and hook the USB wire to your PS3. The GunCon is very weird. GunCon 3. It has this. Again, I don't really want to take it out because it was really hard to get all this crap back in the box properly. It has, like, you have the gun and then you have this side handle thing that's in the front. Yeah, it's in the front, and it's really weird, and it doesn't make use of all the buttons, and I'm assuming they did that because they wanted extra buttons for other games or them themselves in the future to make use of. The GunCon 3, to my understanding, was a complete failure, and basically nothing else even used it. Even Bandai Namco themselves would abandon it, and we released Time Crisis 4 with a pirate arcade game and with move support. You supposedly can still use the GunCon with that, but I don't know if anything else even uses the GunCon aside from that, but this was really cheap because, I mean, this whole thing failed. But, like, Time Crisis, people like the original old Time Crisis, and every time, like, 3 and on, everyone hated all the Time Crisis stuff. This thing, this whole box with this game and everything, was $10. And it's all in very good condition. $10. Unlike, usually, you know, those gun controllers and stuff sometimes come really rare. Like, I know the markers for Dreamcast, I know I keep bringing this up every time I mention this, but those things are really freaking expensive for the Dreamcast. So, you know, it's like $10, get the game, get the GunCon, and all that. Pretty good condition, everything, not really beating up or anything, so why not? The Last Guy, and you're probably like, wait a minute, how the fuck do you got a CD of The Last Guy? Japan had a physical release. So yes, this is all in Japanese, though if you know anything about the game, The Last Guy, that really is pretty pointless, meaningless to the game, because it's a game, you don't really need to know the language. It's very simple to figure out the controls and the premise of the game, and if you can't, you know, there's online. Very bizarre game. This has the download add-on as a part of the game, so it's the full entirety of the game. You still have to unlock that stuff though, which at the time when I was playing was still kind of iffy what unlocked the additional stages and that. If you ever played Snakes, where you're like, you start as a dot and you eat dots and you start making a long line, that is kind of the premise of this, except taking into a different step. Now, you don't destroy yourself when you went into the line. See, basically, you are the last guy. And something radiation happened and turned everyone outside into zombies and monsters and shit. So, all the people inside buildings now were left fine. So, now everyone's panicking, and you're the last guy who is trying to save everyone. Yeah, I don't know why they call him the last guy, but anyway, you're basically out to try and save everyone. So you have to go to the buildings and get people, and you come a line. So the more people you get, you make a longer line and stuff. And if a monster attacks you from the spot, attacks everything back, they don't die, they just run into buildings, and you have to regather them again. If you can completely circle a building, you automatically get everyone out of that building quick. So, there's a few power-ups and stuff, and it's a maze game where you have to plan out how you're going to gather all the people, and you have to get a certain amount of people to the escape zone to clear a stage. And there's also special people you can save that are worth more points and add a teeny little bit to the story. But really interesting game. It took me a little while to beat the last stage because it's kind of a big pain in the ass. Second. Yeah. Okay. The Godfather 2. To be honest, I liked The Godfather 2 more than Godfather 1, but it's definitely easier than Godfather 1, and that's not necessarily why I liked it. I liked it because I liked the weird idea they could take over these businesses, and then, as you're playing, it's like, the Marley Brothers are hitting up your gas station, you need to get over there and save it, but shit, you're in the middle of a story mission, we need to gun down these fuckers quick and get... Oh, pardon me. We need to gun down those fuckers quickly and get over there and save our fucking business. I liked that idea. But the game is really easy, really short, and you can get you got like your own family system in the game where you can upgrade your men to be certain ranks in your family member, which causes them to be more stronger and better at certain professions and that. And they really make the game easy. They really do. They become really powerful, and supposedly you can make them even more powerful by playing online, because you apparently use them in online mode and can power them up even more. But I never played the online, so not too sure about that. Another Japanese import, the Cylene New Translation, which it was cost something in America, and you can only get this as download content in America, which again is obviously why I have the import version. This is the Asian version. This is actually in English, even though you might be turned off to not realize that from the back and stuff. The game is indeed in English, but see, if you look at the bottom, probably can't see that very well, but basically it tells you it has Japanese, English, Chinese, and such, and what kind of subtitles manual and such. The game can be played in English, and so there's no real problem with the Asian version for that. Basically a reimagining of the first game, and if you look at my old reviews section, you'll see that I actually did a old review of the first game. Very, very hard game. It needs a lot of determination to beat that game. Well, I'll walk it. Silent Hill Homecoming. Oh dear. This is there's a lot of ways to take what happened with Homecoming. Did you know Homecoming never came out in Japan? Think about that for a while. Yes, Homecoming never came out in Japan, and there's never been a official statement from Konami about why. But fan base wise, obviously that questions whether it's part of the timeline or not. Most people would automatically say no, because if they're not releasing it in Japan, then it's obviously scrapped storyline wise. But then again, you got people like, well, you never know, maybe they will. It's like, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's basically scrapped from the storyline, because obviously whatever the reason they didn't release in Japan, though I'm sure many of the fan base probably imported the PS3 version of the English one so they could play it though still, if they're like me and determined to get every game of the series. Shadow of the Damned, one of my early Let's Plays before I started doing commentary from Suda51. This was a very interesting game. It's basically a Resident Evil 4 clone, but story-wise it has Suda51's twisted, fucked up mind behind it, so it's not completely disappointing in being... I would say this is okay, I said this in the review and shit, and even Yahtzee said this shit. This is his most unoriginal game, basically. You expect really weird, fucked up everything. That, story-wise, didn't completely disappoint, but gameplay-wise, it pretty much did. This is his most mainstream game ever, so take that as you will. But, I am disappointed in my Let's Play in one thing, because I didn't get a certain section of the end of the game, because my recording software messed up, and for some reason, basically, skipped in, like, this portion was just missing. I don't know what happened to it, and what happened, it's never happened again, so I'm glad for that, but I was very sad to, but I still got the ending, so. Saw. Way back when, what was that one game? 7 Days in Fallujah, which was another game I was looking forward to. Fuck you people, who have a problem with that. You know, I'm sorry, you know, some people feel sad about stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's fine. But, you know, to be honest, that was, you know, that is actually, like, I would be interested in learning more about that, and that's an interesting way to learn about something. But, you know, whatever. That's a whole new discussion. I was really sad and mad and stuff about that game not getting to come out. But I was really bizarrely found, like, why did Saw have no controversial following like this game did? Like, this game is a bazillion times worse, in theory or in opinion. But I bought Saw because I was interested in the puzzles, and the puzzles was the only thing I found fun. Combat is broken and horrible. It is horrible. Very bad. Puzzles was the only thing I liked. The story sucked. The ending sucked. It all was horrible. Resistance Fall Man, first-person shooter, didn't really tickle my fancy. It works, it's competent, it's co-op, it's okay. Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield on steroids. You know, I will admit I was not the biggest fan of Resident Evil 4 for its controversial shift of gameplay. However, I can clearly see there's a greater quality of goodness in it compared to this. This is short, really quick to beat. I mean, Resident Evil 4 was long. I went out being really, really long. This thing was short. Short as hell. Really freaking short. It's just... Prototype. Yes, Prototype. How I was disappointed in you, because, you ironically had the same problem I had with, Assassin's Creed, really, and, that was, basically being really the same old, pretty much. I mean, you weren't given, like, a lot of tasks, like, it kind of felt like, you ever, like, if you read, like, reviews for L.A. Noire, like, one thing I always saw in common with a lot of reviews and criticism for that game was the fact, like, you got this open city, but you don't have a lot to do with it. Like Godfather 1, you don't have a lot to do with it and stuff, you know. And Prototype suffers from that same thing, that there are some things, but they're pretty... There's definitely not as much as other stuff of this open sandbox style. Pull 2. I'm glad that I'm still alive. I'm glad she's still alive too, because that makes it all the more fun. What is there to say about Pull 2? It's an awesome game. You know, it's opinion whether it's better or worse than the previous. They definitely did take a big turn on more story focus in this, but the co-op mode's awesome too. So, you know, you get a good deal, and you actually get the additional content that the PC users get for free. Finally, thank you. I'll be a big supporter of Val on the PS3, by the way, because, after the whole 3, screw you, Microsoft, and your damn money-grubbing ass shit, As I said, I was pissed when that content for Left 4 Dead and shit was charged, just get your money somewhere else. Neo is a game you should play. You should. There's no reason not to even get Neo, because it's insanely cheap, even new. I bought 3 friends Neo as a gift, and they all loved it. I was able to buy it brand new for $9. Of course, I would give more to Square Enix or to the original creators, because I would love to see more Neo, or the universe around Neo, or just something by them. I mean, I like the Dragon God stories and shit. It's really fucked up, taboo shit, And Neo continues that tradition. It even is somewhat linked to Dragon God, and I'm not going to spoil that. That's something you'll have to uncover your own. But this is a pretty good action game. It has a very emotional storyline and shit, and I just recommend playing it. It's a experience game. It's a game to experience, and to be honest, I think the America got the more interesting version. In case you're not aware, there were 2 versions of this game, and they had slight differences, but overall, aside from those differences, were exactly the same. Japan got both, and we only got one. Our version features the main character, who's a father figure, probably in his 40s, 50s, or that, with his daughter, and she's ill, and he basically wants to cure her illness, and she gets kidnapped later in the storyline, and basically that becomes the main plot, and trying to find her and stuff, exploring the world and solving other people's problems and shit. In the one Japan only got, the main character is a young brother to the same female girl, but she looks the same, name same, that age is same, but she's a sister of him, and the main character is much younger than that, and that's pretty much the only difference, their relation with each other. And the 2 stories are actually, in a fucked up way, are kind of actually linked together. It's really complicated. You have to read a lot of story threads of that after you beat the game if you still don't get it. There's a lot of different ways to take certain things in that, but it's definitely an interesting experience. To be honest, compared to the 2 different Neos, which is the main character's name, I liked our Neo better. He was a more character I could connect with, because not saying a brother can't love his sister and want to save her, because of brotherly love, it's I won't let my sister die, Not saying there's no connection to that, just personally, aesthetically, the whole point was to, in America, there's a lot of criticism over art design for, guy characters, sometimes, they're really feminine looking and stuff, and, a lot of common Americans think that's weird and don't dig that, and that was kind of the idea of why they did this. And it's, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I thought he was really goth-looking. I was starting to get kind of sick of the whole emo goth kind of character type in Japanese games. That was starting to bother me there. And to be honest, I really do like the father Neo. He's a very interesting character in that. Very endearing. Very disappointed in what Yahtzee had to say about Neo. But I really like it. I really do recommend it. Play it. Every time I've recommended this game, everyone's loved it. My sister's husband loves it. She said, he was addicted to the story. He couldn't get out of it. I recommended it to a random person. A fan of mine said if you had any plans to play. Oh crap. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for forgetting it. The new one that came out that was a third installment, where your Android, crap. The name eludes me right now. But he was asking me if I had plans to play that game because he wanted to hear my opinion. And I told him eventually, but probably not really right now because it's not generally something I'm completely interested in right now. And there's other stuff I am interested in, but it's something I would eventually get. But and he went to talk about that he was watching my Dark Souls, and he tried Dark Souls, but he didn't really dig it, because it was really, I think he said it was really harder than what he thought, or something like that. But I recommended, since he was looking for like a hack and slash game, or something slightly easier, that I recommend Neo, and I believe he said God, and he was enjoying it. So, really, this game deserved more attention, to be honest. And that's my opinion, but that's just me. Anyway, that was probably the longest rant we're going to have during the whole thing. Gundam Crossfire, one of the other first early used games I got for the system, and if you know, Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire is horrible, with clipping issues and all kinds of shit. That's hilarious to look at. But if you're going to actually beat this, and by the way, here's a quick tip. Don't be Xeon. You know, all those Mobile Suit games, you're usually like, I want to be Xeon, because they have awesome mobile suits that kick ass. Yeah. No. This game is the alternate to that idea. B, the Orth Federation. The Gundam tank mobile suit is evil in this game. It fucks you up in only a few shots, to like one-shotting you and shit. It's really actually hard to beat this fucking game as the Xeon. Now, as the Xeon, it fucking was hard. Like, you literally have to be so freaking careful to the point of insanity. Horrible game. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Man, everyone's really trying to get into this versus crossover shit now, aren't they? It certainly is weird to see the Joker fighting Mortal Kombat characters, that's for sure. It's a pretty bizarre game, and the wage thing in the storyline was weird. Metal Gear Solid 4, Snake Eater. I really liked the finale for Metal Gear Solid 4, The Guns of the Patriot. I have to say, a really good job at wrapping up the storyline, to be honest. Or trying to wrap it up. Every time he wants to end this shit, it's like Konami's like, no, you gotta make more, you gotta milk it, keep milking it for money. America also got the Metal Gear Solid Online. I would call it Online 2, but as far as I'm aware, it's just still called Metal Gear Online, which again causes confusion with the one that was with the special edition of Metal Gear Solid 3. Oh, pardon me. To my understanding, it was actually sold as a separate game in Japan. So, again, America kind of made out, though. But, I played a lot of online, I have to say, really interesting conclusion, too. Definitely, if you played all, or really good chunk of Metal Gear Solid games, it's a pretty interesting wrap-up of everything that's happened. Shit, from, like, the original Metal Gear, as in, for Americans in his fame, or aka the MSX, to, now. So, it's a pretty big wrap-up. Larger than the Forsaken Kingdom, my first Let's Play, where I was trying out commentary and had some issues before, like I have it now, where I have not had crashing and stuff, because I do a different way of recording my commentary now, and I have not had a crash a single time, so I believe I had it crash 2 times, so I lost commentary for 2 videos in my margin for Second Kingdom. This is a fun game. I would recommend getting it. It's really cheap to get new, and it definitely could use more support. Very fun game. It's a real shame that it was basically panned over really quickly in the public's eye. So the Ico and Child Colossus, I believe I will showcase the flipped art, which is awesome for Americans, since we never got this awesome cover art. Ico, you know, it's a game to experience. Not very complicated, but it's definitely an emotional experience game. Heavy Rain. What to say? Heavy Rain is a interesting game, but to be honest, I actually kind of like their previous game, Indigo Prophecy, more than Heavy Rain. I did like a few ideas they did in Heavy Rain. One, have multiple characters who can even die and completely just be yanked out of the story while the story keeps going with the other characters who survive. And that was an interesting idea, and it definitely created a lot of new paths for things. Because that's one thing I hate about Indigo Prophecy, because the promise of that, you know, everything you did had something that would mystically change, then at the end of the game there's actually an event that can make all the 3 endings happen. It's like, so everything I did now. That promise is a little more fulfilled in this one, but still kinda. Okay, it's better in this one, to be honest. Because there are events that do, but still there are certain events that have nothing to do with what's going on either, so up and down. To be honest, if you watch the, I forgot they were called, they're on YouTube, from their YouTube channel, where they talk about, when they were making the game. I actually, thought it was a bad decision. Like, they talk about they were going to do this kind of psychological thing. Well, like, it basically explains why, the main character, what was his name? I don't remember his name. Crap. The main male character, the father figure, basically why he kept, like passing out, waking up in the middle of the fucking street with an origami in his hand and shit. There was going to originally be, like, this kind of psychological thing where you're, like, in a, like, underwater house, and you would, like, foresee things that may happen, shit, and, like, interact with victims, and, like, the young version of the killer and shit. And I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was a real shame to actually pull that out, because they thought, it's like, why did you leave the whole passing out thing in if you wanted to be more realistic? Because then that's still fucking weird. Then Haze. There's not anything to really say about Haze. You know, I'm not a big first-person shooter person, but good lord. Ugh. You know, I just know something amusing on the bottom. See the recycling symbol? I don't think I've ever seen a couple really advertise that's recyclable. 30% recyclable, by the way. That's good to know, because we know what a lot of people probably will do with this piece of crap. This thing is worth $1 of entertainment, basically. If it's more than that, it's not worth it. It's a horrible, plotted game, and it's just dreadful. In short, too, very short. If I didn't start with a friend late at night, we could just beat it very, very quickly in one day. But the Fallout Game of the Year edition that comes with all the download Operation Pit, Broken Steel, Point Lookout, and the Mothership, along with the original game, obviously. Very fun, very buggy though. I always will say this about you until you actually fucking fix your buggy problems, your buggy games. Still fun, but buggy. Main problem I had that was annoying was freezing. Oh my goodness, I must fuzz like 50 times in this game. Very, very annoying. Thank goodness for like auto-saved stuff, because the game would just be real. Eat Lead, Return of Manhattan. This is a haha game. a parody game. It makes fun of almost everything in the game industry. Mainly a lot of shooter stuff, but it also pokes fun at RPGs and shit. And it's very repetitive. It's pretty basic shooter, so it's not like Revolution. The draw to this game is to laugh. To laugh as a gaming community. And if you're basically not interested in that and looking for good gameplay, then no, you're not going to find that. This is very basic and repetitive killing of waves of foes. You do get a lot of weird foes, though. And the story's really over the top and shit. It's very fucking weird. It's almost like poking a complete fun at, like, if this was Duke Nukem. Forever. Something to check out if you want some laughs. Earth Defensors Insect Armageddon. You can check out my review for this game and my Let's Play, which this was one of my early Let's Plays with no commentary, so not really much to watch though, unless you want to see the true ending. I believe I was one of the first people to have the true ending up before most people, like DSP, who just assumed Easy's ending was the normal ending, and then, you know. But anyway, not really much to add here. If you want to really hear my thoughts on this, just look at the review. Demon Souls. Really good. Fun. Awesome. $19 greatest hits. Buy it. Servers are still up. They're going to be up for 2012. No reason to not get it. Well, unless you don't like challenging games, I think. If you like the, if you're interested in the Dark Souls, like I said in the review for Dark Souls, I would recommend getting Demon Souls first, because I consider it a much easier game than Dark Souls. And then by then the patch will be out, and hopefully everything more balanced. Dead Space, the original Dead Space. I have played and beaten Dead Space 1, and being honest, not very impressed by it. It's just a Resident Evil 4 clone to me. Not very scary. He uses a lot of jump scares and that to try and scare you. Dead Island. You know, I did full Let's Play and review on it, so you can see my views of that, but kind of mixed feeling on it at the end. Dark Souls. Have the Let's Play and review of it. You want to see more thoughts about it, you can just watch the review, to be honest. You know, I've already rambled about a lot of the other games. I shouldn't need to have to ramble about stuff I already have rambled about. Catherine, again, I have a review and a commentary Let's Play if you want to check out anything about that. I did enjoy Catherine. Definitely lived up to expectations that I had for it. Borderlands did not live up to those kind of expectations. I was very interested in Borderlands, and this is the Game of the Year one I got later when they got all the download content on a physical disc, which is good. Being honest, I did not really like Borderlands. I was liking it at first, but the longer it got, the more I started hating it. Getting bored of it, and I did enjoy Zombie Island to a certain extent. Mad Max's was kind of The Secret of the Armory is where everything went down the shithole for me, because I got the bug where my save data was destroyed and corrupted. And I don't want to hear you people who say, like, you should back up your saves on a little card thing or something, you know. I understand doing that as a precaution, but I shouldn't have to do that, and I didn't know about it. So, you know, it's not like there's a big warning when you play online. It's like, oh, by the way, back up your saves because there's a issue right now. And you know, I can understand that at launch and stuff, issues like that, a little more than, like, you know, I don't know if it is really right now, but when I got the game, the U edition, you know, it'd been like a long time since the original came out, so it was like, you know, the bug still existed. It's like, that bug should be gone by now. That really is a bad sign that your game is still suffering greatly, and that's not a good thing in my opinion. I did like Claptrap's new robot revolution. That was actually pretty funny, and that would actually added a little remaining life to the game. Sadly, I had to finish redo Secret of Armory and Claptrap's revolution as a new character, because my original character was corrupted. Was very disappointed and sad about that, so but I did beat everything in both ends, and whether I'm looking forward to the sequel is mixed feelings though, kind of iffy though. But anyway, that's all. That should be everything for my PS3. Hope you heard a few interesting things, or saw a few interesting games you might want to check out. That, and you know, any questions, comments, and stuff, you know, feel free to just you know, below the video.